Hi everyone, my name is Nibrass and I'm a Tunisian exchange student and I currently go to Tacoma High School and I live in Tacoma. Today is the Tunisian Independence Day and I'm going to do a presentation about Tunisia for you. So, have you ever heard about Tunisia before? Okay. So, do you know where it is? It's okay. Tunisia is a country in Africa. It's the northernmost country in the African continent. It's bordered by Algeria to the west, Libya to the north, to the southeast, and it's in the southern Mediterranean Sea. It's like a few miles away from Italy, across the border from Italy. We have 11 million citizens who live in Tunisia. The area of Tunisia is 63,000 miles square, and our currency is the dinar, and the capital is Tunis. This is the Tunisian flag, which is here. The red represents the blood of the people who fought and died for the country. The white represents peace, and the crescent and the star represent the 5 pillars of Islam, which is the main religion in Tunisia. In Tunisia, we speak the Tunisian dialect as our daily language, which is a dialect of Arabic, but it's different from Arabic since it has Berber, Italian, Spanish, Turkish influences. So it's different from Standard Arabic. However, the Standard Arabic is the main language of the government and everything. French is the second language, and English is the third language. To say hi in Tunisia, we say Aslema. Can you say it?
Aslema.
Yes. These are some pictures of traditional Tunisian clothes. This one over here is called the blousa. It's worn by women who live in the eastern coast of Tunisia. The two other outfits are like jibba. They're a bit more modern. And this guy over here is wearing the same outfit I'm wearing here. This hat is called shashiyya. Can you say shashiyya?
Shashiyya.
Yeah. And this is called jibba. Can you say jibba?
Jibba.
Yeah. And this one under it is called blousa too. Say blousa. Blousa. And the necklace there is called khumsa. We believe it's so common in Middle East and North Africa. So if you go to a country in that area, you'll see it a lot. We believe that it protects you from evil eye and brings you good luck. This one is called sefseri. It's worn by old women now. Not a lot of younger women wear it, unless it's a special occasion. That one is called futa blousa. Usually it's worn in weddings. And this one over here is called barnous. It's like a heavy coat, and it was made by the Berber people, who are the native people of North Africa, to protect them from the cold of the winter, because in the winter it gets really cold. It can even snow, even though it's in Africa. These are some pictures of the food. The main dish of Tunisia is called couscous. It's slightly different from Moroccan and Algerian couscous. Ours is more has more seafood in it, and it's spicier. This picture over here represents couscous with lamb chops. It's really delicious. You'll have to try it. And the other picture is called harissa. Have you tried harissa or found it in the spices store? It's okay. It's not very common here. It's a very hot sauce, spicy sauce, made from garlic, peppers, coriander, and other spices. And speaking of spices, that's a picture of spices market in Tunis, the Medina. This picture over here is traditional tea container called berraid. This one is called berraid, and this is tea with mint. It has mint leaves. We can also put some nuts inside of the tea and eat them while drinking the tea. And the last picture is a picture of Tunisian pastries or sweets. We call them hlou. Hlou means sweet in Arabic. Can you say hlou?
Hlou.
Yeah. The one in the middle, in the center, is called baklava or baklava. Have you had baklava before? Yeah. Ours is a bit more different than the Turkish or Greek one. We tend to put more nuts inside of them. And these are called takalaka here, the ones that look like donuts, and they were brought by the Spanish and Portuguese, like the Iberians, the Andalusians, who, like the Muslims and Jews, who were kicked out of Spain when Spain was conquered by the Christians again. So they hid their jewelry inside of these donut-shaped sweet things, so that the Christians in Spain wouldn't take them from, like, steal them. So, have you ever known where the name Africa comes from? Okay, so Tunisia was called Africa in the Roman era. It was the province of Africa. And the Arab era, it was Biyalat Afriqiya. And then, like, the name Africa was just this area. And then after like 100 of years, like it meant the whole continent. We also have a museum. It's called the Bardo Museum, and it has the largest collection of Roman mosaics in the world. Have you watched Star Wars?
Mm-hmm.
You know where it was filmed? It was different in it was filmed in different locations. Among these locations is Tunisia, especially the south of Tunisia. In fact, we have a city in the south called Tatooine. That's how they call the planet Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you're a Star Wars fan, you have to visit the Star Wars sites. There is a lot of them. This is one out of many. There are a lot. This picture over here is the Great Mosque of Al-Qarwain, or Kairwan, which is a city in the center of the country. It's the fourth most important city in Islam, after Mecca, Medina, and Jerusalem, since it was the center from which Muslims spread their religion in the rest of North Africa and the Iberian Peninsula, which is Spain and Portugal. So, maybe you're wondering now, how is the school different, and how was my school? At my school, we had to study 13 mandatory subjects. I was majoring in science, so it was more focused in math and physics and science. And when I go back, I'll have to take a fourth language. I'm going to take a fourth language. There is the option of music or painting, but I'm going to take fourth language, maybe German. And we graduate from high school by passing the baccalaureate exam, which is like the SAT here. And it depends, like your score, the baccalaureate exam gives you the college in which you will go. And the higher the score, the better the college is. And if you get a really high score, you can go study abroad and buy scholarship from the government. Otherwise, like the colleges, like the state colleges are free in Tunisia, but the private ones you have to pay. And in order to greet somebody in Tunisia, you'd have to kiss them 2 or 4 kisses on the chins, no matter what the gender is. Like, doesn't matter. And the more the kisses, the more dear this person is to you.
Can you go more than 4 times?
You can, yeah. My aunt kisses more than 4, like 8 or something.
She loves you.
Yeah. So the history of Tunisia is so old. We had a very old population of like the early human beings. They called the Capsians. But the more recent history, even though it's still old, 3,000 years old, it started with the Berber people or Amazigh people, who are the native people of North Africa. They lived in the Canary Islands, which is part of Spain, on the Atlantic Ocean, all the way east to Siwa Oasis in Egypt. They spoke a variety of Berber languages, but they were just like a big group of people. And we also got the Phoenicians. Do you know who the Phoenicians are? So the Phoenicians are Semitic people who lived in Phoenicia, which is nowadays Lebanon. We have the legend of Queen Dido, who came from Tyre, the city of Tyre in Lebanon, and she established the city of Carthage, which is a suburb of Tunis, the capital. And that city grew and became a big empire in the Mediterranean. It was a a dominant trade power in the Western Mediterranean, and at the same time Rome was rising, so they had tensions, and we had to go through 3 Punic Wars, during which a Tunisian warrior called Hannibal took elephants from Africa and took them to Spain. He stayed in Spain for a while because it was part of the Carthaginian Empire at the time, and especially in the city of Barcelona. And his last name was Barsi. That's how the name Barcelona came. And then he crossed the Pyrenees, which is the mountains between Spain and France, and he kept going. He crossed the Alps with his elephants. Imagine like big African elephants crossing mountains of snow. So that was really brave of him. After that, like, we didn't win, Carthage didn't win, and we became part of the Roman Empire, province of Africa. This is a picture of the Carthaginian Empire, by the way, it's here. That was like a big achievement for them at the time because they didn't have like any of the tools we have nowadays. So that was really impressive for them. And then we had the Romans. This is the General Colosseum or amphitheater, which is the second largest in the world and largest outside of Italy. And that one is from the city of Dugga in the northwest of the country. And they're all part of the UNESCO World Heritage. After the Romans, the Byzantines came from the Eastern Mediterranean, and then the Arabs came from the Arabian Peninsula, bringing Islam. And then the Ottoman Turkish came, and then in 1881 we became we became a French protectorate, and we gained our independence in March 20th, 1956. So, and we became the Republic of Tunisia. This is a picture of Carthaginian ruins. They're still standing, even though they're 3,000 years old. This is a map of the Carthaginian Empire in 264 BC. See how it took like North Africa, southern Spain, but it's like bigger than this because this was in 264 BC, and you can see how Rome was still small at that time. This is the Ghariba synagogue, which is a Jewish synagogue in the southern island of Jerba. We have a very old Jewish population. They came from Jerusalem when their temple was destroyed by the Babylonians. So they're really old. They even have a stone. It's hidden there in that synagogue. They believe that it's from their temple, so it's a holy stone for them. And each year they have a pilgrimage in May, and a lot of Jews from all over the world come to the small island of Jerba to celebrate this holiday. This is a cathedral in the center of Tunis, the capital, and next to it is Zaytuna Mosque, which is a mosque in the old Medina of Tunis. So you can see how all the 3 monotheistic religions lived together peacefully and coexisted without any trouble or issues. Have you heard of the Arab Spring? Okay, so the Arab Spring was a wave of revolutions in the Arab countries. It started with Tunisia, when a street merchant set himself on fire because he was banned to buy his fruits and vegetables on the street. And then that was the catalyst of a big wave of manifestations in the country, which caused the president to flee the country, and he's now in Saudi Arabia as a political refugee. And but we had to change everything. We got more rights, freedom of speech, freedom of press. We got to have more than one political party, and so we won a lot in the human rights, civil rights field, but the economy was a bit damaged, especially after the terrorist attacks that happened after the revolution, which made the tourists hesitate, which was bad for our economy. However, in 2015 we won the Nobel Peace Prize. We became the only free country in the Arab world These are some pictures of different parts of Tunisia. This is the northernmost point of the African continent. It's called Cap Injla. This is my city, my hometown, El Kef. It was snowing, this picture. And this is called Al Qasba, and it's an Ottoman fort. And close to it, there is a lot of Roman baths and the cathedral, and we also have a small synagogue and the mosque. So you can see how, despite it's a very small community, they had a lot of diversity. And this is Carthage. You can see the shape of the port, but it doesn't look like how it used to look like thousands of years ago. And this is the suburb of Sidi Bou Said. It's a small village close to Tunis, the capital. It's really nice. It looks like the Greek. It has like a lot of Greek culture and influence in it. This is the Sahara Desert, the south. You can see the camels and the caravan of camels. There is a lot of dates there and palm trees, and it's gorgeous. It has its different beauty. This is Avenue Habib Bourguiba, which means the street of Habib Bourguiba. Habib Bourguiba was the first president of Tunisia, and it's the main street in Tunis, the capital. These are two pictures from the Medina, which is the old town of Tunis. It has more Arabo-Muslim architecture in it. So Medina is a big market. Each street is specialized in something, in a field. For example, this picture shows a street that's specialized in everything made with metal, like decoration with metal, and tools with metal, and like containers and things you put in your house. And this picture is more for leather stuff. These are leather shoes, and these are leather drums, and yeah, it has some clothes too. So yeah, there's an old woman walking wearing this F-City, if you still remember it. You have a quiz. Yeah. I'm sure you'll do well. We're paying attention. What's the capital of Tunisia? Is it Tunis or Carthage? Yeah. Are we the size of Georgia or Texas?
You never said Texas.
I said the area. Yeah.
Texas.
Is Texas 63,000 square mile or bigger? What do you think?
Georgia.
Everything is bigger than Texas, right?
No? Oh, wait, okay. I got a joke with it. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
So which one was it?
it's Georgia.
Georgia's Drew tricked us.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, of course.
It's kind of like Janelle.
And name traditional Tunisian item or food or anything.
Couscous.
Couscous, yeah.
Couscous.
How about one of the things I'm wearing?
Just that
Yeah.
necklace. I forgot what its name though.
Khamsa. It's called Khamsa.
Yeah, that necklace.
And these are some exchange programs you can go abroad with, and I will talk more about them. This is my program, Kennedy Wilbur Youth Exchange and Study. It's here. This is our T-shirt. Yeah. It was started by Senator Kennedy and Senator Lugar after the incident of 9/11 to bring students from countries with significant Muslim population spend an academic year in the U.S. to build a mutual understanding between the two cultures. But she'll talk more about it. And do you have any questions?
You
Yes.
said you're going to learn your fourth language, so what are your other languages?
Oh, so I speak Arabic, French, and English, and Tunisian Arabic, which is different than standard Arabic because it has Berber, Italian, and like other influences in it. So yeah.
I speak English.
You speak Spanish too. Yeah. I
Guapo.
don't speak Spanish. Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now.
Do you have any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.